A recession, geopolitical unrest, the war in Ukraine, crazy high inflation. It seems like every time you look at your newsfeed, there is some major calamity and negative news event going on. And now more than ever, I feel like times are really changing, and all of this can be so overwhelming and anxiety inducing. And most importantly, it really distracts you from your goals and really understanding how the economic landscape is changing and how it's affecting you and what you need to do to combat that. Now, with all this on the horizon, a lot of people are starting to get laid off from their jobs. We've just gotten through a major wave of layoffs, and there's another wave to come because we are really headed into a deep recession. And with all of that changing, I truly believe that now more than ever, people like you and I are going to have to find new ways of making money and bringing in income. Because so many jobs are becoming obsolete and technology is progressing so quickly, those skill sets that once were in need are now becoming unwanted in the workplace. So that means that you may potentially need to start your own business as you figure out how you're going to make more money. But with all this craziness going on, it might sound completely dumb and stupid to say, hey, start a business during a recession, because isn't that the worst time to start a business when everything is going down? The answer is no. It's actually one of the best times to start a business. And I'm going to go over 4 reasons why that's the case. And if you can do it, you will be successful. So this is so important that you pay attention and you listen to this, because it can make the difference between you executing on that dream, that idea that you've always had, that business that you've always wanted to start, because now could potentially be the best time that we've seen in decades. All right, before I get into it, if you're liking this video so far and you want to find out exactly why you need to start your business now, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because I'm going to be having tons of content coming out on this subject matter. The number one reason why you want to start a business during a recession is because you inherently have less competition. What people don't realize is that during boom times, there are so many people that are excited, they're hyped up, they're ready to start that business, and there's plenty of business to be had, which also means you have a lot of competition. Now, if you've been a Turo host during the boom times, you know this. You get into the marketplace, and every single day there are tons of people coming in with new cars, and they are flooding the market with more inventory, which means more competition for you, and it becomes harder to remain competitive and profitable. So that is what I love about economic downturns, is that when you start businesses, you have less competition. So you can enter whatever market it is that you're getting into, and you can just focus on the people who are already established, the people who are doing it right, and you can actually learn from them and implement that into your own business. And that alone is going to give you an edge over everyone else, because you won't have to be so competitive and focus on the wrong things like lowering prices and cutting corners just so that you can turn a profit and stay competitive against everyone else. When you start businesses in a down market, the beauty is that you really focus on value and you focus on what's important, the actual thing that you want to deliver to a customer, and how can you do it in the best way possible for the most value. That is the beauty of starting a business in the recession. And frankly, I love the idea of starting a business in a recession, because if you can make it in a recession and you can really establish yourself and gain that foothold, you will thrive during boom times as well. So this is the time where you take that step and you kind of go out there and be courageous and start that business, because if you can do it now, you can do it and during any other time. Now, number 2, why this is such a great time, and if you've been thinking about it, you need to stop with the shoulda, woulda, coulda, and you have to do it. It's an absolute must, right? Because when you start during a recession, you do what we call lean planning. You're not going to go out there, you're not going to take on debt, because taking on debt during a recession is one of the worst things you can do. You're not going to do any of that stuff. You're not going to raise money. You're not going to take on additional liabilities. You're going to move as lean as you possibly can because we're conserving. So what that means is that you're going to be really smart about the resources that you have, and you're going to be extremely resourceful. You're going to think through exactly what your product offering is, what your customer wants, and then you're going to figure out how you can do that as lean as possible, as grassroots as you possibly can. And when you get traction with a business by doing it in that manner, that is when you know that you have a great product market fit and a proof of concept. When your customers and your sales aren't being fueled by just ad dollars or marketing dollars, but actually organically because your product or service is needed in the market, that is a major indication that you are onto something successful. And what I love about lean planning, and it's personally how I've started all my businesses over the past decade, is that you can go out there and you can take risk without having much to lose. Now, in another video that I'm gonna come out with, I'm gonna go over a bunch of free tools that you can use to start your businesses, or at least for very little cost. And if that means spending maybe $100 to give something a try, it is so worth it. And it's exactly how I've done all my businesses. So that will be coming up next week. Now, the third reason why you want to start a business during a recession is because things are cheaper. So when we're in a recession, essentially what happens to the economy is that demand for things gets destroyed. And when demand gets destroyed, that means prices for everything comes way, way, way down because there just isn't as much demand. So prices come down, which makes it more affordable. So for any of my friends out there that are watching that have wanted to get into some sort of physical product type business, or really anything, this is going to be a great time because you don't need that much startup capital to go and experiment with things because it's going to be so much more affordable. I know that I am just one person who's had many businesses over the years, but this is also coming from some extremely intelligent people. I was just reading an article today from a very famous Silicon Valley venture capitalist by the name of Bill Gurley, and he's had so many successful businesses. And he was quoted in a recent interview saying that, this might be one of the best times that we've seen in over a decade to start a business. And it's for a lot of these reasons, because you don't have to worry about that competition. Things are more affordable, and you can be really lean in starting that business and not taking on too much financial risk at all. Basically, little to zero, because there are so many great ways to start a business these days. And once again, I will be making those videos coming up. Now, the fourth reason is that people are in need of things, right? When you go into a recession, there are so many industries and niches that are in need of figuring out how to get the most value out of whatever it is that they're doing. And what that means is that that is going to create opportunity for you to come up with ideas and services to bring that value to people who need it, right? It's not like the boom times where businesses or other types of companies can just throw money out there and try different things. Now they're going to be really thoughtful about where they put their dollars. And if you can bring that value to the table and help people become more efficient or get smarter or acquire skill sets or have better products and services, well, then they are going to redirect those dollars to you. So I really, really encourage you to take some time and consider all the things that are going on. And maybe you've always had that idea, that dream of starting that business or putting out a product that you know there's a need for, and you really take this time to plan it, be lean about it, and test it because it could literally change your life. You can break that habit of having a 9-to-5 job and pursue the life that you want. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a job, but for some people, the desire is something else. The desire is for something more. And I remember over a decade ago when I was still in college and I started my first business, my parents wanted me to go to school and become a lawyer. And I remember the day that I realized that, you know what? I took my LSATs, I was gonna apply to law school, and I was like, this is not for me. I wanna start a business. And I was so worried about what people were gonna think, and my parents would be disappointed. But you really have to chase after the things that you are passionate about, the things that you want at your core. Because if you do that, then you will live a life that is fulfilling and you will make the progress that you want to. And you don't ever have to live in that fear or that discomfort or that really sadness of feeling like you're not making the progress that you know that you can, that you know you're capable of. So it's really important to kind of take these moments when they present themselves. Recessions don't come around that often, and to really think about what you can do to improve your life. Now, I am going to be coming out with an entire series of videos on how to start your first business, the tools that you can use to really make yourself efficient and execute on your goals, and to try things without really having to spend any money on them. So stay tuned for that series. Now, in the meantime, one of the things that you want to be really careful about during a recession is how you manage your finances and what you do with your money. So I highly recommend that you watch this video that I just made last week about the correct way to go about your money and how to manage it during a recession. So you can catch that right here. And I look forward to talking to you guys down in the comments section below.